such behaviour? If you want to go out now, but if you stand again, I'll lord you out. Make your mind up. Either shut up and get out. I order... Shh. Neil Hamby, I am now naming you and Kenny McCaskill to leave this chamber. Sergeant, deal with them.
For the first time in modern history, the UK Supreme Court has voted 9-0 against its own Prime Minister. The courtroom fell silent as the Chief Justice delivered the words that sent shockwaves across the nation. No one, not even the Prime Minister, is above the law. Within minutes, Downing Street issued a statement, defensive, vague, and already crumbling. Across the UK, citizens watched in awe and fury as news tickers flashed the verdict: government acted unlawfully. The case stemmed from months of investigations into misused public funds tied to Labour-linked donor contracts. Leaked documents revealed millions funneled through consulting programs with no deliverables. Opposition MPs called it a shadow tax on the people. When the High Court refused to intervene, citizens petitioned the Supreme Court tonight. That court spoke unanimously. Legal analysts call it a historic moment for British accountability. But for Keir Starmer, it's the beginning of political extinction. Sources inside Whitehall say senior advisors are in panic mode. The verdict ignited a chain reaction. Minutes after the ruling, Downing Street gates closed. Reporters shouted questions that went unanswered. By midnight, hundreds gathered outside Parliament, chanting, "Resign, resign." The Prime Minister's motorcade slipped away under police escort as aides scrambled to contain the media firestorm. Inside Labour headquarters, phones rang non-stop, MPs demanding answers, donors demanding distance. The government had lost its moral license to govern, and Britain knew it. Morning headlines were brutal. The Times: Supreme Court saves Britain. Daily Mail: Starmer lied. Court confirmed it. Every news station showed protesters flooding London Bridge, Birmingham, and Manchester. Pensioners waved Union Jacks. Young activists carried placards reading, "Justice is back." For the first time in years, Britons from left and right stood together in rage. Social media erupted. Millions of tweets tagged Keir Starmer resign within hours. The nation was united, not in division, but in disgust. By the second day, Parliament was in freefall. Cabinet ministers refused to appear for questions. A wave of resignations hit the front bench. Markets reeled as investors watched the pound slide. A BBC News cut live to a senior civil servant who broke down on air. "This is a collapse of governance, unlike anything we've seen." Meanwhile, a whistleblower released audio recordings linking Number 10 to off-the-books donations through foreign shell companies. The crisis had moved from courtroom to criminal investigation. Then came the surprise. The Attorney General, a lifelong Labour member, resigned live on television, citing an irreparable breach of public trust. Within an hour, the Crown Prosecution Service announced a formal inquiry into the Prime Minister's office. Starmer's inner circle fractured. Aides deleted messages. Ministers lawyered up. Opposition leader Kemi Badenoch called for snap elections, stating, "This is not a government, it's a crime scene." Even long-time Labour supporters admitted it was over. Legal scholars called the 9-0 ruling a reawakening of British morality. For years, citizens felt betrayed by leaders who spoke of transparency but acted with impunity. The Supreme Court's decision became a national mirror, reflecting the truth that justice only survives when someone dares to uphold it. This wasn't just about Starmer. It was about who Britain wants to be. One caller told LBC, "For the first time in years, I trust my country again." That sentiment spread like fire. Within a week, mass protests turned peaceful but persistent. Trafalgar Square became a symbol of civic awakening. Veterans, students, teachers sharing one chant: "Clean politics now." Starmer attempted a televised apology, but the public was done listening. Polls showed a 92% disapproval rating. The cabinet collapsed. Caretaker leadership took over. Foreign press called it Britain's 2025 reckoning. In just 10 days, the man who promised honesty had become its lesson in hypocrisy. History will remember this as more than a court case. It was a reset, a moment when the rule of law proved stronger than the rule of men, when citizens found their voice and the system listened. As one judge wrote in the verdict, "Democracy is not a spectator sport." The Supreme Court's courage has re-anchored a nation drifting towards cynicism, and for millions watching, it felt like justice had finally come home. This is the story of how Britain fell and rose again in the same week. What happens next is up to you. Should this government resign entirely? Should new laws protect against future corruption? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe for daily updates as we track this historic collapse of power and the rebirth of British justice.